Did y'all know that Puerto Rican society is rooted in anti-blackness? They have that word, which is whitening. It means whitening ideology. Let's see the definition. Here's the definition. A Spanish word that means whitening refers to social, economic, and political practice of attempting to whitening a population. And this whitening ideology strengthened after the United States colonized Puerto Rico. And Puerto Rico viewed the United States as white allies. So they tried to maintain this white image. The Puerto Rican elites with governmental power deemed any variations of blackness as a threat. And they have strategies on dealing with these variations of blackness, such things as law and order and war on crime. Matter of fact, they had a war on crime in the 90s. And guess who they targeted? Black reggaeton artists and producers, because it was just too black for the Puerto Rican society. The Puerto Rican government wanted to destroy reggaeton. And since they couldn't destroy it, the next step is whitening it. Let's make it white. And this is where I got my information from. This is a dope article. Let's not forget the black pioneers of reggaeton.
Native Americans cannot trace their lineage to being renamed by the government from Indian to black. But when you research, well, wait a minute, what was Walter Plecker's role in the United States government? The vital statistics. The vital statistics were changed. The U.S. Census were changed from Indian to Negro, black, and African American. That means it became illegal for us to speak our truth.
So Trump just tweeted this morning that any woman who put her man on child support, or baby daddy or ex-husband or whatever on child support, has automatically lost rights to tax returns. Earned tax, child credit, all of that. You lose it. Only the man gets it. That might sound like a joke till you realize he has literally about 100, executive orders he's going to pass on the first day. So ladies, if you really want to get that tax return, you better file that shit before Trump gets in office. I swear to God, I don't know how it's going to work, but once he gets in office, he puts that shit in, it's over. No tax return for you. But that's not it. My thing I'm trying to talk about now is the TikTok ban. The update has failed. And I want to be clear. I am not advocating for violence. I'm not a violent person. I'm not advocating for any civil unrest. But if I were that kind of person, I absolutely would lose my shit today, because this is what I found out. Every single senator who voted no on the Extend TikTok bill has shares in Meta. Like literally, these people got voted in by the people so that they can ignore the people and vote their pockets. Like this TikTok ban, whatever, I swear to God, 100%, everyone that voted no on it. If you notice, Meta stocks have gone down right now, and basically, yeah, they fucked us, so because their pockets are hurting. And there's a bunch of shit. Like, they basically said, let them eat cardboard cake, because they know you bitches ain't got money for real cake. And wow, this is absolutely the gutsiest Congress/Senate I have ever seen in my lifetime. This is outrageous.
Hey, Justine, why was your balloon unpopped for him?
Because again, the clothes situation is a little bit too tight.
Okay.
A little bit too much.
All right.
All right.
Why'd you end up popping her balloon?
Probably because just a little bit, you know, I'm not like BBL type dude, so. You know,
well,
probably...
I never had a BBL.
Okay. No worries.
It's okay.
I assumed.
What we have learned is that the IRS, in fact, has been using AI to access bank accounts of American citizens without any kind of a search warrant or even without any specific claim that they have committed a crime. So this was something that was discovered by an undercover journalist, and what they found is that the IRS has claimed that they have access to every single person's bank account. This person also indicated that they've been working with the Department of Justice and that they have absolutely no problem whatsoever going after the little guy to make sure that they are paying their taxes. This is such a blatant violation of the Fourth Amendment that Jim Jordan and I sent a letter to the IRS demanding that they provide additional information about what they are doing with AI and what they are doing to protect the civil rights of American citizens.
So, Congresswoman, what's the end game here? Because at the end of the day, you can't put the AI genie back in the bottle, and it's so easy to use these technologies in the way that you're suspecting the IRS is. How do you protect American citizens and our constitutional rights?
Well, one of the things is we need a new administration in November, because this administration has been absolutely lawless in terms of its surveillance of us, of members of Congress, of local officials, of people who are protesters, of voters. This administration has completely ignored the Bill of Rights, whether it's the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment. They have weaponized the government against us. So one of the things we have to do is we have to have a new administration come this November.
Hello, fellows. In my last video comments, some of you share your medical bill, and that the cost of ambulance shocked me, man. Look at this, $9,000 for an ambulance and the insulin. That's like a 3 month of income for an average American. And this, $900 just for an appointment and painkillers. In China, it only costs about $10. And this, in China, we never worry about the ambulance charges. Today, I will show you how much the ambulance costs in Shanghai, which is the most expensive city in China. Let's look at this table I made by using the official data. You guys can take a screenshot for later review. This is why some Chinese followers commented yesterday, it only costs around $50 in China for ambulance services. You know, those politicians should have taken care of your people first. At the end, salute to Luigi and wish the best to you all. Please follow me for more sharings from the other end of the world. Bye-bye.
The Chinese said that Americans are not free because the American TikTok refugees asked the Chinese, what stereotypes do you have about us? And I'm thinking they're going to say, like, we're fat and we like junk food. No. They said that we think that we are free, but we are not, that we live under an oligarchy and that we essentially live in a corporation. And we're fat. Please stay for this, because I've reached the part in this whole like class consciousness part where I'm just filled with the most impotent rage. And like, I'm talking that white hot, I need to sink my teeth and into something and scream kind of rage. Because what do you mean that it never had to be this hard for us? Like, what do you mean? In other countries, they don't have to spend 20% of their paycheck on groceries. What do you mean in other countries, everyone can own homes because they're not paying $2,000 a month in rent, or that their mortgages aren't like their entire paycheck? What do you mean that people in China work one job and they don't even work 40 hours and they can easily afford their life? And then I'm over here working 60 hours a week, just me as a single parent, to like barely make ends meet. And I'm penny pinching every single second. And like, there's so much of life that my kid misses out on and I miss out on because of money and like work and no social support net. And you mean to tell me that it didn't have to be like this? They keep us in these chains on purpose, and it never had to be like that. Like, I did everything right. I went to college. I had to drop out of college to take care of my mom when she was sick because, again, no social services, like, no safety net. My dad worked his whole life and died and left everything to my mom. My mom was disabled. She lived on credit, and, like, she barely made ends meet, and she did everything she was supposed to. And I did everything I was supposed to. And it just keeps getting worse. It was never supposed to be like. And I'm so angry that it is. Because what do you mean? I've spent so much of my life working so hard to scrape by. And it never had to be like that. My suffering was at the expense of someone else becoming wealthy because they could. And I am so angry about this. It can't stay like this. It doesn't have to stay like this.
If TikTok being banned does not radicalize you as an American citizen, you are intentionally missing the point, because it's not about TikTok. It's the fact that Republicans and Democrats across all legislative branches can expeditiously and unanimously pull together like never before, and probably never again, to streamline legislation banning a social media app while completely ignoring everything important to us. They can't pull together to make sure my kids don't get shot while they go to school, to fix the economy, to mandate livable wages, to kick hedge funds out of single-family homes so I can afford my fucking mortgage again. They're doing fuck all about homeowners insurance, stealing billions of dollars from Americans, and then leaving them for dead while their homes wash away in a flood or burn to the fucking ground in a fire. They, like every other country, can't pull together to outlaw the poisonous substances that are put into our food, creating an epidemic of obese, diabetic, cancerous Americans who need to lean on a healthcare system. They do fuck all the mandate in way of quality of service or cost. They won't give us free healthcare. They won't invest in infrastructure or education, but all of their efforts collectively go to banning a social media app. California is on fire. North Carolina and Tennessee washed away. New Jersey has geoplasmic orbs over it. Our kids get shot in school, and our economy is on the brink of fucking collapse. But their top priority is banning social media. That's where the effort goes.
Actually, can we talk about how white men fetishize black men for a minute? Because I've been wanting to talk about this, but it's like really awkward subject. And I bring this up because I already know that this man is going to ask me to talk to him about being with black men, like sexually. This is way more common than people would like to think or admit, but there are plenty of white men that are obsessed with black men's bodies.
Originally, I wanted to talk about this story because I'm still trying to fathom why it is, as a mother, you would want to dress in such clothing going directly to your son's game. And I want to reinforce the statement, your son's game, not your game. Not something where all of the attention is supposed to be on you. You're supposed to be there for your son, not to magically find a date, a man, a one-night stand, whatever it is, because that's exactly what those clothes are reading directly off to me. You're going to a children's game. You're going to a young league of mini football players who are sitting there playing. The focus is supposed to be on them, and it ain't supposed to have nothing to do with you at all. But obviously you can see that this mother is all about the attention being on her. She's going to make herself the center of attention no matter what is taking place, even if it has to do with her child. So the second issue is the image that you were able to see here, and I put both the video and the image so people can get a reference point. So a guy said Trump already trumping. Trump's new child support law will be crazy. Basically, if you put someone on child support, you will no longer be able to claim the child on your taxes. Only the person who is paying the child support can. Underneath, he said child support or child tax credit. Underneath that, a woman said this: the amount of black men, in quotation marks, which means in general, right? Which means the overall, in particular, celebrating this and or believing this is why Trump got elected, which is completely 100% false. Y'all will fall for anything. Again, the generalization of all black men. Y'all. There is zero evidence that supports this, and y'all, again, for the fourth time, you didn't bother to Google before jumping for joy. This actually wouldn't make a lick of sense. Now, I want to reference this, and I want people to understand. The first time that I heard anything about women losing out on child support or anything taking place around this subject was last year. I heard these words specifically from a white man who was posting this on TikTok. Matter of fact, I think I might have thrown that up in a video at some point 2, 3, 4 months ago. So for her to, for whatever reason, single out black men is a little bit telling. And then later on in the thread, she wanted to post that, she cares and loves black men, yada, 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 all this other type of good stuff, right? My main thing is this. Why would you, as the person that you are, have some type of problem directly with a celebration happening or taking place? The main issue that has always taken place with black men, and black men have stated this, if you're a guy not taking care of your responsibilities, this is directly on you. You built that bed. Now, on the other end of that, for the black men that take care of their responsibilities, there is an egregious attack on them to try to label them as deadbeats, to try to list them as abandoners, to try to list them as not being there, to try to list them as not being fathers, to try to get exorbitant amounts of money directly from them by both the mother at hand and also the government, or both directly at the same time. There's also an issue with the fact that randomly a black man can be blamed for being a child's father, and he DNA tests prove that he is not the father, and then he is said to have owed rears, such of the excess of 40 grand for a child that is not his, and if he does not pay that, he will be thrown and locked up in jail and or prison and still be made to pay that monies. It's also the fact that if you are a man and you are potentially late on your payments, or the woman goes back to court to get an increase to those payments and you're not able to pay those, is going to affect your housing, is going to affect the way that you have your transportation, is going to affect your job, is going to affect your livelihood, is going to affect your freedoms. All 5 of those things are true. You can ask a variety of men directly out here, on top of the fact that they can also take away your driver's license, which is crazy, which is 100% crazy, because you would think that, hey, if you want some monies from somebody, then you would make sure that that person is able to get from point A to point B so that he can get to point C, which is that money. But again, at the end of the day, this is a further tool that is used to separate the black community, to separate black men and black women, to further separate the black child from the black father, which will then in case end up in chaos and end up in a broken community, as which we have at this moment in time. So I ask again, why would somebody such as this decide that they want to single out black men, make it problematic, then again try to give the false narrative and blame black men for the reason that Trump got elected, which we know statistically speaking that overwhelmingly white men and white women voted, that the Latin community voted, that the Native Americans also voted. Those main groups overwhelmingly voted and supported Trump along with the Asians. So again, you have that false narrative directly right there. And again, the second false narrative, which is trying to state that, hey, all black men are celebrating this. They're jumping for joy. They're cleaning glasses and drinking champagne. And no, they're not. No, they're not. I can tell you that some of the ones that are very much celebrating are the Caucasian men that I've seen too many TikTok videos about, where they are angry and frustrated at the system of child support and how it is that they are getting treated and how it is that they are getting railroaded. But yet somebody like this doesn't want to talk about that. They don't want to focus in on the actual people really being overwhelmingly affected directly by this. And you can clearly see it. Well, I'm not sure if you can see videos right now because, TikTok is about to go bye-bye for the United States. It's going to be banned. So if a lot of people miss those videos, technically it is directly what it is. But as I've stated before, this is 100% egregious. A lot of these narratives need to directly stop. I need a lot of other people to do a little bit of research on that before trying to generalize black men. And then last but not least, going back to the thing dealing with Trump, whether it is true or not, it's the fact of the matter that you have a lot of people who are wanting to disagree with this, which then overwhelmingly means that they are agreeing with the system and how it is that they are specifically attacking and going after black men. So that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that's stated in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.